Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another mini-sode of Dissonant Waves. Ritz is on assignment, so Trix and I have come back to do another movie watching, soundtrack listening to kind of event. Not Green Day this time. Instead, we're doing the Talking
Oh,
Heads.
yes.
And what specifically, Trix, are we doing?
We are talking about true stories.
Yes, the only film that David Byrne has ever directed. And comes hot off the heels of Stop Making Sense, I believe. So it kind of makes sense if you look at it
Yes.
like, oh, well, maybe he got some cachet from that, even though Jonathan Demme directed that and just was able
Mhm.
to get them to finance his movie.
Yes.
So, true stories, a bit of a, it's not really a plot movie. It's like a little look into like a little town in Texas, and David Byrne's just kind
Yeah.
of there taking you through it.
Yes. He's like the narrator, or in physical form even.
Yeah. There's a couple other writers. I know Stephen Tobolowsky, who's in like Groundhog Day and stuff like that, is credited, but I am pretty certain that this is mostly just a David Byrne thing. So it's like a
Yes.
look inside of his mind. I first discovered this movie. There were some videos I saw online. Red Letter Media did a nice little review of it years ago, and then it came out on the Criterion Collection. And I like to
Yes.
follow that. And it's like, oh shit, well, it's like available now. I could just watch it. And I did. This is like, I don't know, 2021 or something.
Mhm.
And I loved it. It was great.
It is.
And it's like, that's something I want to cover this on the show. And look, here we are. I just watched it again recently. I'm like, God, we need to talk about this. This is
And it's pretty great.
this is a nice, just little movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's a professional production. You got editors, you got cinematographers with like well-known names. Like I said, you got writers and such that are attached to it. It's like a full Hollywood thing, but it
Yes.
just doesn't feel like it feels like an indie movie. It doesn't feel like a big studio thing.
No. And
You cut out there. What?
I
Okay, we're having issues with Trix.
I think that's. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
Just asked, do you want to do like a one-on-one call? Would that be better? I don't know. It might be the same.
It's probably the same.
Anyway, what were you saying? Because you cut out completely.
What was I? What was I talking about?
Just the movie in general, I think.
Oh yeah, I feel like the reason why it has that like indie movie vibe to it is just because of David Byrne. It's got his fingerprints and weirdness all over it.
Yeah. It also kind of feels like a Wes Anderson movie, like before Wes Anderson movies were a thing.
Definitely, I could see that.
Like there's like a stiltedness to it, like a kind of a like a really prettiness to it, but everyone's also kind of weird, but also it's like shot and staged kind of theatrically.
Yes,
It's not like a one-to-one thing, but it's like, oh, I could see where someone could get some inspiration from this and go further. Um,
yes.
have you heard of this before we wanted to do it?
I've heard the album. I have not watched the movie.
Well, you have now.
I quite like the movie.
Uh, isn't it interesting how all the songs are in there at some point? Like, it's not really a musical, but it kind of is.
Yeah, with various changes.
Yeah, a lot of the actors are singing the songs, not David Byrne.
Kind of, not really, sort of. Yeah. Hello.
Hello? You're coming in and out, in and out.
Visual call. Hello.
Hello?
I am standing by a window now.
Okay, let's see how that'll go.
Individual call, but not visual.
Well, what I hear is what I hear.
Two bars would be good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as great, but I'd rather it sound not as great instead of not sounding at all.
Yeah.
You were saying something again, but we got cut off. What were you saying?
Yeah. Um, all the songs are in kind of a different style too than to how they are on the album.
Yeah. It's like they went to each person that's singing it and said, like, kind of, let's make it your own. Let's kind of like do a little, a switch up to make it work for what you have going on.
Yes.
So,
And there's the song Radiohead, which I wonder if that has anything to do with the naming of Radiohead.
I believe it. I believe that's actually where they get the name from. I'm pretty sure.
All right. And this song is better than any Radiohead song.
Yeah, they named themselves after the song.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this might be my favorite Talking Heads album, so I can't necessarily disagree.
This is up there. It's not my favorite.
And I think why I like it so much is also just because of the way it just ties in with the movie. Like the movie version, it's different enough, and seeing the context for what the way these songs are kind of like presented, it just makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where there's like a fashion show in a mall because it's the 80s, so like malls are big, and it's like a really weird fashion show with like grass suits and really elaborate like headpieces, and they get bigger and bigger until someone falls over. And
Yes.
the MC of the event just sings Dream Operator the entire time.
Yep.
And her voice is much different than David Byrne's, and it's just like that's really interesting. Like it doesn't sound bad; it's just different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's cool, and I like having that kind of like alternate like history, alternate reality version of it.
Yeah. This seems like a movie that would kill to be watched on like VHS.
Yeah, I could see that. There's like there's a certain fuzziness that I think could really work for it. There's something about fuzziness. Go ahead.
Yeah, like there's a rawness to it almost. Like, but like you ever watch a movie and you just know that like, this would have been great on VHS.
Oh yeah. Like there's something about, like I feel like nighttime scenes are like kind of like dusk when the sky is still kind of pink and orange and VHS, and the way it kind of like makes that look.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's something about that I've always really really liked as like an aesthetic.
Definitely.
So the movie itself, like I said, it's not really like a plot-driven movie. It's more of just like here's a town with a bunch of characters. David Byrne's there is like your narrator kind of, or your tour guide kind of leading you through it. The big, I guess, what you could call the star is John Goodman playing Louis Fine.
Yep.
And this was like his big breakout movie. Like this is like where he got like his big start, I feel like. So
that's cool.
Yeah, like looking back, it's like, oh, it's John Goodman. He's known everywhere. But this is still when he was relatively unknown.
Well, I do know. I have seen from the movie.
Hello.
Real. That's like I'm 6'3", 10, constant panda bear shape. Hello.
Yeah, you cut out again, but you were good. We're good. We're there.
Okay.
Yeah, the meme of him saying, "I'm what was it?
6'3" and maintain constant panda bear shape."
Yes, there are several quotes in the movie that are just really good.
Yeah.
It's a great multi-purpose shape, a box, just stuff like that, or like the scene where David Byrne is like driving the car and he's just playing around with the wheel and he's like, it's fancy driving.
Yeah.
It's like it's a bunch of little.
This is one of those movies like Napoleon Dynamite where it just gets better every rewatch.
Yeah, it's like all these little moments that are kind of like make you chuckle or like make you laugh a little bit. It's not like a comedy. It's a subtle comedy.
Yeah.
It's more about the environment and everything you're seeing and just kind of getting that, like, if you vibe it, you vibe it.
Yes.
Like, I introduced this to Corey. Corey loved it. It's one of my favorite movies now. I think it's probably one of Corey's favorites. But yeah, so the movie kind of loosely follows him as he's John Goodman's character, as he's looking for love, trying to figure out, he wants to get married. He doesn't know who to, like, it's a small town, so he hasn't met everybody, but he sure seems to know a lot of people. So he's just putting ads out and just kind of, putting his name out there, being like, hey, I'm looking for a woman.
Yeah.
And so, some of the scenes are his dates, and you see, some of these other characters kind of come in and out. Like, there's a woman that always lies about stuff that, she has some scenes, and eventually she dates him, and that goes pretty bad because she's just saying a ton of shit that's obviously not true.
Yep.
And it's kind of like funny and elaborate in the way she'll say stuff like, oh yeah, I wrote a bunch of songs for Elvis, or I was one of JFK's lovers.
Yes.
And it's like she tells it really convincingly in like a way that, like as an acting exercise is really interesting and cool. But it's like, God, being around her must be so draining.
Oh, absolutely.
Just listening to her go on and on and on and on. But like everyone here does their like role like very convincingly and very like in a way where it's like, gosh, these really just could be these people. And I don't think anyone else other than David Byrne would even attempt to do this at the same time.
Yeah, the preacher definitely comes to mind for that. I know. Oh yes, I could have.
Yeah, no, like the preacher has some really interesting scenes. Well, not really just a scene. Like it's just a scene in a church. And it's where they do puzzle and evidence with the whole gospel choir. I feel like that's kind of the reason why they even have it. And the preacher is just going on a huge sermon and is really just like a conspiracy theorist. And so he's talking about like Elvis and all the big corporations and all this stuff. And it's like he's just putting it out there for you to see. He's asking questions, man.
I missed most of that, so I'm just going to agree.
Like loosely there, I believe kind of the impetus of this and kind of the loose connection with all of these different little characters and stories is the idea of like these are things you read about in like the paper or maybe the tabloids of like, there's a woman who's so lazy and so rich she doesn't have to leave her bed.
Yes.
Or, there's a family out there where the wife and the husband are happily married, but they haven't spoken to each other in like 15 years. And so you see the scenes of them being like, hey, son, tell your mother to pass the carrots or whatever. And they go through the whole rigmarole across the dining room table. Oh, he says to pass the carrots. Oh, yes, here you go. Well, did you have a good day at work? Ask your husband or ask your father. Just that kind of like there's a kind of like inherent comedy to that rigmarole that really works.
Yes.
And like with David Byrne just kind of being there, we kind of just see the scenes the way that he kind of sees them. It's just like these things that just happen, and in a way they feel real. Like maybe not that specifically, but they feel like real like things. Like you go to like a friend's house and it's just kind of off and weird. It's not the way you do things.
Yeah.
But for them it makes sense.
Definitely.
And there's a whole sense of, we're just here to like see it. We're not here to judge these people. We're not here to, comment necessarily. It's kind of like these people kind of speak for themselves. These situations are what they are. Take it or leave it.
Yep.
And there's just the whole vibe to the movie that for a person that's just directing their first movie is like kind of unreal.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's loose. It's got good actors, but it also just seems to know what it wants to be. It's very meticulous.
Yes.
What were some of your favorite parts?
Let me think. Oh well, I mentioned the where the meme originates, the dating reel.
Yeah.
The kind of intro in the beginning where John Goodman's character is talking about his work at the chip factory and his luck with computer dating.
Yeah. I love the idea of like movies like this where someone like John Goodman can just be part of an ensemble of people you mostly don't know.
Yeah,
And then it's like, oh man, he really made something of himself.
he did.
I really like the scene where David Byrne goes to the dinner with the family that doesn't talk to each other, and the father, who's like the head of the tech company that John Goodman works at, is just like describing the way that like the society has changed with the way that people are spinning off from tech companies and starting their own companies, and they're deconstructing the 9 to 5, and there are no weekends anymore. Kind of talking about something that largely ended up happening, of like kind of people making their own work and making their own time, and the idea of just you go to work, you go home from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, has become less and less of a thing. And I think in some ways, just like the way it's presented, also kind of like calls ahead to the yeah. What is a weekend, right? Like like the way it's presented. Not consciously, but also kind of consciously, like calls ahead to the idea of like this is untethered. This is getting to be too much in a way, because there's no stopping this. People can just kind of make you do whatever if it's part of the job. It feels like sometimes no guardrails like there used to be, especially when everything's a gig, right?
Hold up.
Yeah.
Okay, my phone's in the 2-bar spot.
Okay. You're just gonna speak to it?
Yes, I got my Bluetooth headset on, so I just have it set down.
Okay. I appreciate you putting up with this.
It's okay. I appreciate you for putting it up with it.
Who knows what the edit will look like, but we'll get there when we get there.
We'll get it.
So, yeah, I like the dinner scene. I like the theatricality of it. I like the talent show, because one of the other plot threads is the idea that, okay, there's going to be this sesquicentennial. It's the 150th anniversary of the town. They're going to have a talent show. And the talent show ends up being a lot of like just local talent, just things you would conceivably see.
Yes.
Like there's like a lasso performance where there's also like an auctioneer like narrating the lasso performance. That's kind of weird.
There's the auctioneers and the yodeling.
That I might be mixing up the two. Yeah, there's auctioneers and yodeling, but I also remember there being like lassos that they're throwing or something.
Maybe I might have looked away at that one.
There's like a big head eating an ear of corn that's made of balloons.
There's the shadow puppet.
Ooh, yeah, a bunch of people are like making shadow puppets and silhouettes out of their body parts that are like, there's like 5 of them, but they appear as one person.
Yes.
Yeah, things you would conceivably see. And then like throughout the whole thing, you also have John Goodman talking about, he's gonna sing a song, he's gonna represent how he feels, he's gonna put himself out there, and it's people like us, it's the Talking Heads song, but John Goodman really sings it, and he's good. He makes it work. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, wow, why wasn't John Goodman doing more musical stuff? I'm curious.
Yeah. Did I cut out again? Or just...
No, you're there. I'm listening. I feel like it's just still
okay, good. Just making sure.
Yeah, I feel like
this is a really. Or is this us being awkward or a connection issue?
I am hearing you, but I'm not sure if we're delayed.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm hearing you.
We're ready now. Okay.
Yes.
But it's really good.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like it. I like there's just an ease to it, If I were to talk about like what is the great movie? Like what is a great movie? What is a vibe that I want to show people that movies can be?
Yeah.
Because I'll watch like the big plot heavy action movies and all this stuff, and I do like a lot of those. I like a lot of heady things and things with a lot of action. But like just like sitting back with this and just having like a nice drink and just like watching it like in an afternoon on like a Saturday or Sunday or something. It's just so easy and just kind of goes so well. It's like this is also what a movie can be.
Yes.
and I wish like people paid attention to it. Like they didn't at the time. Like no one talked about it, but it's cool. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
Like I mentioned Napoleon Dynamite earlier,
yeah.
but like I could see like this and Napoleon Dynamite being like a big double feature.
I guess I feel like Napoleon Dynamite is a little more wry and like drier in a way.
Yeah, I get you.
I guess if Napoleon Dynamite's kind of like the B movie, and this is the A movie of the double feature, maybe that could work as like a
Yeah.
here's kind of what this is, and then here's kind of what a similar idea is, a little more updated.
Yes.
Because like they're both kind of like, I guess you would say kitschy, a little odd, a little strange. But I think True Stories is like these are strange people, but they're largely still realistic. Whereas Napoleon Dynamite's strange people, but they also, they're kind of putting it on a little bit.
Yeah.
They're swinging more towards it's Hollywood, baby. You got to make some quirky characters. Yeah, and the album really works with it. It's one of those things where I think people could really enjoy the album on its own, but if you know that this is kind of also attached to it, it's gonna make it better.
Yes.
What else? What else do you have to say? Come on, let's make this a little bit longer. I don't want to just cut it off here.
Okay.
We are losing signal again.
Think about this for a second.
Yeah, take your time.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
All right. What I was going to say before.
And you cut out again. God damn it.
Was cut off. Cut out again. What the fuck?
There we go. That's a little better.
Okay. Technology is shot very beautifully in this movie.
Yes. And I think there's a curiosity about just like the local culture that's cool. Like there's a scene set like in a, I don't know if it's like a Mexican American restaurant, like a Mexican club or something like that, where they have like just some Spanish music happening.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
That was.
And like they have
there's good diversity in this movie too.
Oh yeah. Like it is a number of white people, but there are also, some not white people.
Yes.
I know one of the big did you know kind of little factoids about this movie is that there's something like 40 sets of twins throughout the film.
Yes.
So if you like look and you like really try to watch each scene, you will see more and more twins as things go on.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah. How much do you think you like it? Like what you only had to give it like a rating or a star thing or whatever.
I'll do what I did. I'll do with Ritz for the last movie we reviewed.
Okay.
Let's rate my Letterboxd review right now.
Sure.
So let me pull up Letterboxd. Okay. Create a new add a film. We're looking for True Stories. I'm gonna go 4.5.
4.5. All right.
This. Yeah. Let's.
And you cut out. So before you start writing it, let's wait for you to get back first.
Figure out fantastical. Okay.
Talk a little more.
Talking.
All right.
Talking.
Go ahead.
Okay. A fantastical look at a fictional town. I'm writing it down.
Right.
I cannot type with two fingers.
Not even your thumbs?
Okay. No, I have my phone set flat on something.
Oh, right.
Like two index fingers.
Right.
A fantastical look at a fictional town. See the strange wonders laid out in mundane absurdity. Fantastic soundtrack.
Okay.
And I'm going to call that good on the Letterboxd review.
All right.
Anything you'd add?
I mean, I would give it 5 out of 5 personally. I think it's one of those movies that you can't really improve upon much because, like, what else are you gonna do? Add more to it? It doesn't really need more. It's like a 90-minute film, and it works in that prospect.
It'll probably go up to a 5 on my next watch, but it's
Yeah.
just a 4.5 right now.
Like maybe you could put in a couple more scenes to give some of the smaller characters a little bit more to work with. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where you have to really think about it before you realize. Oh yeah, the guy doing the voodoo sequence, I think, is like the assistant to the lazy woman.
Yes.
I think I didn't realize that my first time watching it. But I think for someone doing this for the first time and having it look as good as it does and sound as good as it does, and with the acting as interesting and weird and as cool as it is, I think you can't ask for much more.
No. It is really good.
I wish more people appreciated it. I wish more people talked about it.
Yes.
And I think the soundtrack goes really well with it. And I like that they incorporate the songs, but still don't make it feel like, oh, this is just a musical. Like some things are diegetic, some things are just happening, some things are they just kind of pause the movie to sing a little bit, as people do.
I think if we're going to talk, we have to talk as
Talk
a
ab-
musical.
You want to talk about it as a musical?
Yeah, American Utopia.
I didn't understand what you said there.
Yeah, I think the next time we cover David Byrne, we should talk about his.
Oh, his
I know
musical.
what's happening. Yeah, American Utopia.
Is that watchable somewhere? I think it is, isn't it?
I think it is. I'm not sure. Let me Google this right now.
I think Spike Lee had something to do with that, didn't he? Well, there's a studio album at least. There was a Broadway show. There is a live recording of the Broadway show.
I will cut out here.
Did you cut out? Let's see.
I probably did.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, Spike Lee did a documentary concert film that we could look into.
Yes.
So that'd be cool. I guess one other thing to talk about too is that, like, David Byrne has talked about being on the spectrum and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Does this feel like a movie that maybe dives into that a little bit in like a subconscious way of like looking at people in a different way, kind of as if like you're an outsider or an alien or something?
Yeah, I could see that.
Like not in like in a way that like puts people down or like looks at it negatively, just kind of like everyone behaves a little bit strangely.
Yes.
But it still feels all human. And it's interesting for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could do American Utopia. I'd be down with that. That would be a really interesting comparison.
Yes.
Especially since that's only the last few years.
Yes.
And I would love to know what else David Byrne's going to do, because he's in his 70s now.
I need to read his book too, How Music Works.
I've heard it's very good. I've heard it's like
have too.
It talks about stuff that like nobody else is talking about, but is very like simple and real.
Yeah.
And with this, we've covered a good amount of the talking heads now.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah, covered quite a bit of it. Did I cut out?
A little bit, but we're here.
Okay. So what do you think of Talking Heads now that we've covered quite a bit of it?
I have grown to like them more and more. I think, when we started, I was like, yeah, these people are cool, but I don't know if I like them. Especially now, having like seen True Stories and like having heard the soundtrack, and heard the songs both in and out of context, I have grown to like them a lot more.
Yes.
Because, like, how many have we done? Let's take a look.
We've done 3, I think.
Speaking in Tongues, Remain in Light, and Stop Making Sense Together, and this.
Yes.
So that's a good span so far of their discography.
It is.
But
you'll be happy to know that there's a Janelle Monáe song in American Utopia.
that's amazing.
Hell, you Tom that.
I gotta find this. Where is this? David
It's
Byrne.
on the Wikipedia page.
I'm getting there. American Utopia. Let's see. It's a cover.
Yes.
And nothing for nothing. At some point, I kind of want to cover. There's a movie out there called "This Must Be the Place."
Yes.
You cut out there when you were saying, "Yeah,
You've mentioned it before. I'll reconnect.
yeah." We go.
You
There we go.
mentioned
Shit.
the.
You were there, and then you went away again. Hello.
Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
There we go.
Domino. You can hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right. I can hear you. What were we talking about?
Talking about the Janelle Monáe song being a cover,
Yes.
and yeah, I think that'd be cool to cover it. We've done a lot of Talking Heads. We were talking about. I was on to maybe throw on "This Must Be the Place" at some point.
Oh, yes. You
Is-
mentioned that one before.
Because David Byrne has a role in that movie too, as you would expect, because that's a Talking Heads reference anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which, This Must Be the Place is still the greatest love song ever written.
I am glad that you have found something that speaks to you so deeply. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but it is good.
Oh, I don't know. I think telling somebody that you think you're home because they're there is one of the greatest compliments you can get.
That's true. And I think that also goes beyond like a traditional like romantic relationship love. That also just could be like a friendship love and like a family love.
Yeah.
If home is wherever your friends are, then you're home.
Yes.
And that is beautiful to think about.
Indeed.
All right. Due to how much we're struggling to get through this because of the signal issues, I think we'll call it here. Anything else you want to say?
All right. Go watch True Stories.
Yeah, True Stories is great. And we'll watch other movies at some point as well. Who knows what? Maybe it'll be Green Day again. Maybe it'll be something else. Maybe something else that we're not thinking of entirely.
Maybe we'll play a game next.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's always something different with these minisodes.
Yes. Maybe we'll get back on the K-pop beat. Who knows?
Probably not, but maybe.
Oh. Anyway. That'll be it for Dissonant Waves. My name is Dominic. You can catch me online at places. My shit's in the description below.
I have been Trix. You can catch me in the kitchen 6 days a week slinging out pasta.
We got a website. We've got a Blue Sky page. We got a Twitter page for this show. We're on YouTube. Please check us out. If you're listening to us, you are checking us out, but please listen to more.
Yeah.
Other than that, have a wonderful night. And hope you enjoy True Stories. Corey loves it too.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, folks.